Shalom to those just hopping on the live later on. Shalom to those that are on the live now. Just bear with me real quick. Gotta make sure I do this to the video. Lord willing, this video is not too long, and it's edifying and straight to the point. I want to read this verse first. This is 2 Peter chapter 3 and verse 9. Bahasham Yahawashi is not slack concerning his promise, as some may come slackness, but in long suffering to usward, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham Rakakadash, Rakati Yahawah, Rakati Yahawashi. Double honors to the elder apostles and the elders of great millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word. Knowing that y'all all in the same Spirit and sound doctrine, continue to endure and be sincere. And shalom to the Aquatium, believers of His faith and His truth in the same Spirit, to pursue your lot, which is being a loving and silent and virtuous wife, and to endure and to be diligent. And Lord willing, the Most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. I don't know what I'm going to title it, but the Lord is going to definitely accomplish what He promised us, right? Going all the way back to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. The Lord is going to accomplish what He promised us, because He made the world for our sakes. 2nd Ezra, the 6th chapter, verse 55, right? You have to surely believe that the Lord made the world for our sakes. This is a great story in the scriptures, but it has to be dissected in the right way to give, those elect the right understanding, right? The point that I'm going to is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, and Apocrypha, chapter 39, Salaki, verse 13 to 16. But just because I just said the point that I just said, I want to read something, because Sirach 17, verse 1 to 13 is really truly towards the Israelites, right? Because he ended off with the last 4 verses speaking about the elect. So let's read it, and then we'll go to the main point of this lesson. This is Sirach, Ecclesiasticus, chapter 17, verse 1. Yahawah created man, M-A-N, and even if you go into this word, I believe in the Hebrew, it takes you back to the word mankind, going back to Adam. And through the Spirit, for those that get it, mankind Adam is really Yahawashi in the reincarnation, right? So the Lord created man of the earth and turned it into it again. He gave them few days and a short time, and power also over the things therein. Basically, we have a short lifespan being in this flesh, right? Of course, we were supposed to be immortal in the time of Adam and Eve, but we fell because of sin, right? So now we have a expiration date on this body, not the Spirit. It says He endues them with strength by themselves and made them according to His image, right? You go to Genesis, the image is really talking about the mind, right? How they think, right? Really going into the knowledge, because look how man is able to equip with certain things, right? Let alone, what else does it say? It put the fear of man upon all flesh and gave him dominion over beasts and fowls. Really, things that's orchestrated in the heaven, the Lord put it down on earth, right? Heavenly Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven, right? Bringing order in the earth. It says they receive the use. Wait, Salaki. Yes. Okay, yeah. They receive the use of 5 operations of Yahawah Shemashai in the 6th place. He imparted them understanding, and in the 7th speech, an interpreter of the cognations thereof, counsel, and a tongue, and eyes, and ears, and a heart gave he them to understand. Withal, he filled them with the knowledge of understanding and showed them good and evil, right? And this really goes back to Adam and Eve, because first we knew good, but with Eve getting a philosophy which is synonymous with the fruit from the serpent, which a serpent can go into to a man, right? Can go into a nation the same as trees, right? So she was able to receive knowledge of wickedness, because if they had knowledge of good, she had to receive knowledge of wickedness, right? Let's keep going. It says, he set his eye upon their hearts, their mind, that he might show them the greatness of his works. He gave them to glory in his marvelous acts forever, that they might declare his works with understanding. Hey, and this can go throughout all the scriptures, because then Moses, through the power of Yahawah Shemashai, the Spirit, Moses wrote the first 5 books of the whole Bible, but it goes back to prophets already being in the earth throughout all time, right? Adam was the first example of being a priest, right? That man was speaking these words. Then it just went down, it went down, and it went down, and it went down, and it went down, and it went down, all the way to the children of Israel. Just for us to have these documents, for us to know the miracles of the Lord, how he made the sun, right? You get to see that in Genesis, the 2nd chapter, right, where it says the first day, which we know in, I believe, 1 Peter, right? A day to the Lord, a day to the Lord is 1,000. The second day is 2,000. The third day is 3,000. The fourth day is 4,000. The fifth day is 5,000. The sixth day is 6,000. And the seventh day that he rests was 7,000 years after everything was fully completed. Right? For those that truly dissect the scriptures, it wasn't 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. In the Lord's time, a day to him is 1,000. Right? So the Lord have given us this understanding. And look where we at now, where we're getting even more understanding, following after Yahawashi came on the earth after 2,000 years ago, right? He came on the earth 2,000 years ago. It says, and the elect shall praise his holy name, right? The elect goes back to the children of Israel, right? Which goes into the name saints. And only the Israelites can be saints, because those were the ones that was giving sacrifice unto the Lord. And I just want to get a confirmation for that. Psalms, the 50th chapter, in verse 5. This is Psalms 50, verse 5. It says, gather my saints together unto me, those that have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. Right? The saints is the elect. Right? The elect are the saints. And when you go to 2nd Ezra, the 3rd chapter, this is how you know even more. These scriptures was written for the Israelites. 2nd Ezra 3 and 34, it says, weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and there's also that dwell the world. And so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel. The Lord's name and his son's name is only found in the nation of Israel. Only the nation of Israel kept his law. And we're about to read this in Sirach, the 7th chapter, which it talks about a law. So it says the elect, Sirach 17 and 10, the elect shall praise his holy name. Besides this, he gave them knowledge in the law of life for inheritance. Who he give it to? The elect, because the verse before said the elect shall praise his holy name. Besides this, besides the elect praising his holy name, he gave them knowledge in the law of life for an heritage. The law is our inheritance. It's our religion. It's our custom. Why brothers is saying, oh, the law is done away with? No, that mean your heritage is done away with. But we got, kind of a curse that happened to us. And we can go to, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's Jeremiah 17:4. If it's not Jeremiah 17:4, it's Isaiah 65:15. Yes, Jeremiah 17:4. And thou even thyself shalt discontinue from thy inheritance that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not, for ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever. What else is a part of that heritage? The land. We got removed from the land. The Lord cut off the righteous and the wicked. Ezekiel 21:4. But that heritage is the law. We were removed from the law. Each captivity, of course, we had certain Jake that was of the circumcision that was following it, but you had other believers that later on he sent Paul, right, starting with Peter, which eventually was going to fulfill our time, because we were all consumed and turned away from the Lord for that 350 plus years without a teacher, a priest, without wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So we were totally removed from our heritage, man. The law of life was given unto us. Now this time, Revelations 11:3, the breath of life is coming back into us, synonymous with Adam. Now the elect, those that praise his holy name, from that time all the way till now, the elect is rising back up again, right, through spiritual ashes, from the dead. Ezekiel 37, just synonymous with Eleazar when Yahawashi told him to rise up, right? We're standing on our feet because of the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. Now the men of the Lord is going to the highways and hedges. It's only Hebrew Israelites going to the highways and edges. It's only Hebrew Israelites bringing out the prophecies, the parables, the dark sayings, and pushing forth sound doctrine and 100% truth, starting with the elder apostle Tahar on down. I'm just calling it a spade a spade. I just sidebar. Anybody watching, I never met these men, but off of the fruit of the spirit of how these men teach, how they answer every question, how they teach the whole Bible, raw and direct, outside of caring for somebody's feelings, right? They take this job serious. And I'm just a fruit falling from that tree, because I take from that tree, or I take from that branch whatever nutrition that tree gives or that branch gives. Guess what? I'm pulling it out because I am a reflection of my teachers, right? Just had to get in there, right? So now we coming back into this heritage. So Sirach 17:12, he made an everlasting covenant with them and showed them his judgment. That's Psalms 147 verse 19 and 20, the classic. He haven't not dealt so with any other nation, right? Verse 13, their eyes saw the majesty of his glory, and their ears heard his glorious voice, right? And we had times, even when Moses, when we was afraid of hearing the voice of the Lord, right? You had Moses, he was hearing the voice of the Lord. And how else do we hear the voice of the Lord? Through the prophets. And the Lord sent the prophets to the children of Israel. It's times when the other nations heard the prophets. It's time where Israel, just like Alexander the Great, which we can go into history, right, where Alexander came across the prophets, and they even said, hey, you the man that Daniel was speaking about in Daniel the 8th chapter, such and such a thing, right? That's why when you even go deep in history, Alexander the Great didn't afflict Israel. He didn't tax Israel. But after, he went in the spirit world, his generals, they afflict the children of Israel. And eventually we got scattered. But that's just a domino effect of us committing a sin, right? Just like the 7 sons said, we are afflicted because of the sins that we transgressed against Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. So this is righteous judgment the Lord has done unto us. So now let's go back. Let's go to the point. This is Sirach chapter 39, verse 13. Hearken unto me, ye holy children. Holy children Hold on, wait a second. Who is Sirach Ecclesiasticus talking about? Right? And the New Testament was not written. Right? Our past plays in our present moment. So this Deuteronomy 7 and 6, going straight to the point. For thou art a holy people unto Yahawah thy power. Yahawah thy power have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth. God has chosen Israel, man. Right? And you could just go to Deuteronomy chapter 1 verse 1 to know from Deuteronomy the first chapter to the last chapter who was he speaking to. Right? Deuteronomy, when you go into it, it means second law. He was speaking to the children of Israel, no other nation. So who is his holy people? I mean, his holy children. And that goes back to Sirach, the 17th chapter. Because only the elect on this side is the true children of the Lord, because they are going to obtain salvation. But not all Israel didn't obtain what they seek for. Because starting with Judah for the 2/3, a lot of them didn't care, because the Lord have given them to a strong delusion, have given them over to this world, and the Lord have cleaved to the elect. It says, and bud forth as rose growing by the brook of the field, and give ye a sweet savior as frankincense, and flourish as a lily. Send forth a smell, sing a song of praise, which singing a song of praise, you go, I believe it's Psalms 19 and 4, where it says a line. Actually, let's just get it. And there's multiple verses on the Lord say he's singing a song, right? The song is this ministry, right? The song is this banner. So this is Psalms 19 verse 4. It says their line is gone out through all the earth, in their words to the end of the world. In them have he set a tabernacle for the sun. That line goes into the word cord. You can look it up. It's kawam in the in Hebrew, because the Old Testament is in Hebrew. That word for line is music cord or chord. And this truth, this wisdom, knowledge, understanding is a chord. When you read in NLT, it says the message is going throughout all the earth. What message? The message from Genesis to 2nd Maccabees, Genesis to Revelations, the KG 1611, right? The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, the prophecies, the parables, the dark sayings, and the law is going throughout the earth, in their words to the end of the world. In them he have set a tabernacle. Let's get another one, right? I believe I want Psalms 33 verse 3. It says, sing unto him a new song, play skillfully with the loud noise. The new song is for this moment, because this is a modern time. For 350 years plus, I'm saying plus because it was more than 350 years, right? The fall of Rome all the way till about 1969 or 1968, we did not have this truth. Nobody was prophesying. Nobody was bringing forth prophecy, the true 100% understanding. It had to be unlocked. Now that is the book is open, because the Lord told Daniel to seal up the book. Now the song is being sung, and it's a new song. You saying you a Hebrew Israelite? Nobody, look, all nations' names are changed because of Esau. This is a new song. You battling with Christianity, Islam, all these other things. All these other nations don't even fear the children of Israel. The Judith, the 5th chapter, verse 20, right? When we sin against the Lord, when we in error, the nations that is our ruin. And we've been in ruin for so long. This is why we're weak. When you read Judith all the way down, Judith, probably verse 17 all the way to 24, right? We are weak. That's why we can't overpower no nation. And the only way we're going to truly be able to do that is through Yahawashi. The Lord gave us a spiritual weapon, which is this word, which is pulling down the strongholds. But you have to have the breath of life. You have to have that water, that spirit, which is the Rakak Wadash. Going back to St. John, the 3rd chapter, being born again, which a lot of people like to push that born again. But a lot of them take away and say, hey, what happened in the Old Testament is done away. When you go in the New Testament, the Lord is dealing with the Gentiles too, and the Gentiles is the other nation. The Lord is dealing with the other nations in a different way. But when it deals with salvation, when it deals with wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, when it deals with glorified body, those are only the children of Israel. Because when you say the other nation can get saved, are you saying, are they going to be part of the elect that get beamed up? Are they a part of the 144,000? Are they a part of the great multitude in Revelation 7 and 9, which a lot of people like to push? No, they're not. The Lord is dealing with Israel first, and then all the other nations get dealt when the kingdom is established, right? So now you see that song. Okay, back to Sirach, Ecclesiasticus 39, verse 15. But again, where it says, give ye a sweet savior as frankincense, when you go, I think is in 1st or 2nd Corinthians, when you come in this sound doctrine or spirit of Yahawashi, you come with a Hamashiach like fragrance. To some it smell like life, and to others it smell like death. So that's only those of this faith and of this truth. So Sirach chapter 39 verse 15, magnify his name. St. John 17:16, Yahawashi manifested the Father name. Now we're manifesting the Father in his Son's name through the Rakak Wadash. So we're magnifying that name, right? We're honoring it, we're uplifting it, we're exalting it. It says, and show forth his praise with the songs of your lips, which is this word, which is the breakdown, which is the doctrines, the doctrine. It says, with harps and praising him, ye shall say after this manner, right? And when you go into harps, I believe is an instrument with strings. That goes back to Psalms 19 and 4. When you go into a musical chord, that can be a musical note, but you can even go into a musical chord when it goes into a harp, because a harp is using a string, and in order to make a certain chord or a certain musical note, you have to pull whatever chord on that harp. Verse 16, it says, all the works of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi are exceeding good. So what he done to the children of Israel for the sins and the wickedness that they committed, right? That is good. It says, and whatsoever he commandeth shall be accomplished in due season. So what the Lord said he was going to do, it's going to happen in due season. What the Lord said he's going to do to the 2/3 and the wicked, he's going to do. When it comes to all Israel going to be saved in a later end, right? And all their filthiness is going to be removed, all the nation of Israel, right? He's going to do it in due season. Right? The MOTB is going to come in due season. The Lord is just preparing every Jake that don't believe in it to open up their mouth. You've been marked. Right? The Lord is allowing Jake to keep building up their wickedness unto the heaven. The Lord is allowing Esau to continue to build their wickedness and lewdness all the way up to the heavens, just like he did with Sodom and Gomorrah. He just letting it build up and build up. Right? Everybody is marked. You got the righteous that are marked, and then you have the wicked that are marked, starting with the children of Israel, Esau, and then the other nations, regardless if you accept it or not. Now let's go to Isaiah 55 and 11. This is Isaiah chapter 55, in verse 11. It says, so shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void. The whole Bible is not going to return to the Lord void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereunto I sent it. Who is the Lord sending it to? He's sending it unto the elect, starting with the men of the Lord, Romans 10. Right? How they going to hear the word unless the Lord sent a preacher? Right? The Lord is sending out his word through the prophets. You don't got somebody like Moses where he hearing that voice, but through the spirit you're hearing the voice. A direction you looking this way, or this direction you looking this way. You might be on YouTube scrolling, you be like, man, wait, hold on, man. I'm always hearing about the Hebrew Israelites. You know what? Let me listen to them one time. Or you go into a TikTok joint. It might be a thought in your mind. You know what? Let me go on TikTok. Let me see what's on here. And then you scroll past a live, and now you just find yourself watching. I don't know why I was watching it. Guess what? The Lord sealed your instructions while you were asleep, and then you're playing those things out when you woke. The Lord is always dealing with the creation, starting with the elect, starting with the children of Israel, starting with the believers, the men, women, and children. Right? The Lord is sending forth His word. I got to get this one. You could definitely read this in the KJV just for time's sake. Again, I don't want to make this too long. I just want to make it straight to the point and make it edifying. Right? This is Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3 is the point, but I'm going to read verse 1 because we're reading the NLT. It says, I will climb up to my watchtower and stand at my guard post. There I will wait to see what Yahawah says and how He will answer my complaint. Then Yahawah said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets, which is the banner. Today, what is that banner? The Bible. It says, so that a runner can carry the correct message to others. Hold on one sec, because I just want to back that up. That the tablet now, because we in modern time, the tablet in this time is the Bible, is the word. Right, let's get that. This is Isaiah, the 13th chapter, in verse 2. He said, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. The high mountain is Israel, but through the Spirit, that mountain that this can go into is America. America is that high mountain, right? Because, again, when you go to the first verse, it says the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see, right? Through the Spirit, when you go to verse 2, that high mountain is America. So lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them. Isaiah 58:1, cry aloud, spare not, shake the hand. You're doing like Asher, but shaking the hand just like Ezekiel 35. Shake the hand to Mount Seir, or prophesy against Mount Seir. Prophesying against this wicked kingdom, Babylon, right, is shaking the hand. It says that they may go into the gates of the noble, right? You go to Proverbs 1:20 to 23, right, where it says, wisdom crieth in the streets, right? That's the men of the Lord. Matthew 22. They're in the street of concourse, or the place of concourse. They're in the valley of the shadow of death, right? The major teaching is happening in America. I can't take away from the other prophets that's four corners of the earth in different countries, in different places, especially brothers in Great Millstone that's in the UK, that's in Australia, right? That's in South Africa, right? That might be in Brazil. Wherever place that they're at, they're prophesying against the rulers of this world, let alone they're prophesying against Babylon, right? So back to Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 3 in the NLT. I'm gonna read verse 2 again because we wanted to show the correct message, or the write it plain on the tablet, is the Bible. 2 Ezra 15, verse 1 and 2. He had these scriptures written on paper because they were faithful and true. It says, then Yahawah said to me, write my answer plainly on tablets, so that a runner can carry the correct message to others, right? So that means if it's correct, like when you do a text, when you do a test and your teacher say you got 100% correct, or you got an answer correct, it didn't say nothing about it being wrong. When we go to 1 John 2 and 21, can't no lie be of the truth. So the correct message is 100% truth. So somebody out here is speaking 100% truth. Revelations 14, the 144,000, they taught no guile. And they were singing a song of Moses and a song of the Lamb. So those prophets that are on the earth, that are a part of the 144,000, because we know some is in the spirit world, they are bringing forth 100% truth. And of course, it's a domino effect from the teachers before them all the way till right now. And just as a song, as a choir, they're singing that one song, singing that one musical line, that one musical chord. It says, this vision is for a future time. It describes the end, and it will be fulfilled. That means the Lord will fulfill what he said he was going to do in due time. It seems slow in coming. Wait patiently, for it will surely take place. It will not be delayed, right? This will not be delayed. It surely will come, but it's going to come in due season when the Lord say it, right? The Lord never early, never late. He is always on time. And guess what? This is the Lord's story. Yahawashi is the author and the finisher of our faith. Yahawah is the Salaki, the architect of this whole story. Salaki, he's the architect of this whole story, and Yahawashi played it out for the Heavenly Father, even creating other first spirits, right, which would be the elect, right, the elect men, right, to help him make all these things, which was a part of Yahweh's blueprint. But the things that come, the things that happen, it happens on Yahweh's time, right? This is a system. And the true system outside the beast system is the system of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Everybody plays a role. Even the animals, the birds of the fowls of the air, the sea creatures, right? The insects that's flying in my dang car. Everybody has a part in the Lord's story. The 2/3, the elect, the Edomites, the Elamites, the Africans. I mean, there's all different type of Africans. The Chinese, the Japanese, or we could say Moab, the Ammonites, right? It's all different flavor of nations, but they all play a part in the Lord's story. And whatever is going to be fulfilled out of that nation is going to happen in due season, right? Now let's go to Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter, in verse 1. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. To everything there is a season and a time to every purpose under the sun, right? It's always, everything comes in a natural season, like winter, spring, fall, summer. Even though I probably said it wrong, and I probably didn't say it in order, but all of them come in their own season. New moon come in its own season. Passover, Purim, Day of Atonement, new moon, they all come in a rightful season, right? In a time to every purpose under heaven. The Lord got a purpose for things that are going to happen under the sun, right? Famine of the word, the MOTV, the love of many wax cold, right? Christians trying to debunk Hebrew Israelites. That's just a spirit on the left-hand side. They really think they doing something, but Acts 5:39, anybody that's fighting against this truth, you fighting against Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi. Anybody that's teaching or speaking of the name of Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi and pushing a false doctrine, you're moved on the left-hand side to fight against the truth. And some people don't know that because the Lord have put a veil over you to believe in a strong delusion and believe you're doing a good job. The Pharisees thought that they was doing the will of the Lord. Come to find out, they wasn't, right? Your mother and father that's not getting it. Yahawashi had family that didn't get it, but had some that did. Guess what? Some of our family might be part of that fire. Guess what? Those things, that they got their own little walk in this thing, but that's still part of you. Because is it gonna affect you? Is it gonna have you draw out of this truth and say, oh, my cousin couldn't make it, my mom, oh, why would I trust and believe in the Lord? Right? Are you Lot's wife? Curse God and die? Or are you going to accept we receive good and evil at the hand of the Lord? Because the coming is truth, just like a video I did at work. You're going to have to forsake things in this world, certain things that might hold you back from the Lord, or things that's not trying to come to the Lord, right? For you men, it could be women, right? It could be your family, right? Even for you women, right? It's Galatians, the 6th chapter, in verse 9, it says, and let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap if we faint not. And when you go up, like whatever you reap, you're going to sow. And that's either for bad or good. So again, don't weary in well-doing, right? That could be you losing your life, getting afflicted at work. You know, this whole thing is a testing ground for you to get ready for the worst to come. And when that worst to come, don't even weary, right? Second Esdras, the 16th chapter, 74, 75, right? Neither doubt, for Yahawah Bahasham Yahawashi is our guide. He's our guide in this. Let's get this last one, Numbers 23, This is Numbers 23, verse 19. God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Have he said, and shall he not do it? Or have he spoken, and shall he not make it good? Right? So they can't lie, man. Right? The Lord do not change. What he said he's going to do, he's going to do, but not on your time. He's going to do it on his time. Yes, we hasten. Oh, Lord, please make it happen. Yes, you praying, because guess what? A real elect is going to ask the Lord to give him deliverance. The elect is going to be telling what they see in the world. The Lord is already seeing it in the heavens. But who's going to call on him? Who's going to count on him? Like, what's the song? Who you going to run to? Right? Who we going to run to? Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. When shit hit the fan, who you gonna call on? Not the Ghostbusters, not Captain Planet. You gonna call on Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. Right? Yes, it do seem long, bro, but it's happening. Right? Something just happened with RFK Kennedy. His last Kennedy, where he was talking about a device, like a tracking device for people that got health problems, such and such a things. But then they're even talking about a financial tracking device. And that right there was just a moment in time for those that don't believe in this physical charagma. People think that they're going to say, um, um, people think that they're going to say the MOTB. The dude said a wearable device. He called it a wearable device. It's going to be different names. And then they say, how can America establish something in all these nations? First, America is going to create this, promote this in their own land. But guess what? Who runs and helped this, right? It's all Europeans, starting with the elites. The elites, where is where are they milking cows at? And I'm saying their money maker, and that's in Babylon. Yes, throughout all the earth and all these other countries and kingdoms and empires, he's making money. He's establishing things. But the number one push wealth that they made a lot of money, especially off of Israelites back, is America. Pushing deception, America. So they're going to use the military might of America. They're going to use the finance of London, and they're going to use the strong push of the Roman Vatican. And if you don't believe in it, then you really are fighting against the Lord, because this is all him. The Lord established this horn that was connected with a system, which is with their allies, NATO and EU, in the three defiled frogs, which goes back into the religion, the Roman Vatican Church, which this is Rome 2.0, the military might, which goes back to Washington, D.C., and the money, the finance, which is established in London, which that goes back to the Rothschild, or which David or Jacob Rothschild sent out his 5 children to establish central banks, right? So we getting closer than ever. Lord willing, this is edifying. The water Yahawah Shemashai for another video. Lord willing, we continue to be edified and take these things in and apply them within our life. That we're honest to the elder apostles and the elders of great millstone who rule well and teach well through the Spirit. And a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect in the same Spirit, teaching his word and believing his word. Lord willing, that they all continue to endure and be sincere. Shalom to the Akwat Yom, believers of his faith and his truth. And Lord willing, the Most have mercy on the other brothers and sisters not in faith. Abab, Babal. Right? Abab, Babal. Salaki.